G'day, Mr. Fitz here, hope you're going well. This short tutorial is part 3 of our series for designing our trike stand. Alright, so with your trike stand in your assembly, what we want to do next is design a way that we can stop these legs from rotating. We're going to do this differently to the design of our sample stand. So right click and open up your stand, legs, sorry. Now what I want to do is I want to create a little jog on an angle, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So rotate to one of the sides. Now this actual piece that's going to stop this from rotating must be on an angle to allow this to rotate past vertical. So to start, I'm going to do a sketch on the end of my tube. Now this is a simple sketch that I just need a line from the center to the edge of my circle, and I'm going to dimension it. So just click center to there, just double check that's gone there. Yep, okay. So draw it to the center and then just click on this little tool here, which is coincident, and then go end of line to the circle. That just guarantees that both ends are snapped to the circle. Now I'm going to dimension this angle from horizontal, click there and then click on the line, drag the dimension out, and I'm going to make that 15 degrees. This is going to be the angle that this will rotate past vertical. Finished my sketch. Now I'm going to build a plane from this point. So if I go plane, and what I'm going to do is go tangent to surface through point. So I want this plane to be tangent on this surface on the outside, and I want it to run through that point there. So straight away that builds me a plane on an angle. You can move this plane and resize it, but that is sitting tangent and through that point. So if I change that angle, this plane will change. Alright, now I want an offset plane, offset from plane, and I want a plane from here that is going to go out 30 millimeters. So you can drag it, type it 30, and that's what I want. Okay, sketch. Sketch on this new work plane. You can see that I'm now on an angle because I can see the opening of the legs there. Now, zoomed in here, what I want to do is I want to project geometry. This is a tool that you can use that brings geometry from your model into your sketch. So I want that line and I want that line in my sketch. Now, this is a bit different. I'm going to draw a rectangle out here in space, and this is going to be my component that's going to stop this from rotating. So just draw a rectangle out here. Now I'm going to offset, so I'm going to dimension this first. So this is going to be 50 millimeters by 25 millimeters, and I'm going to do an offset inwards, and the offset, just click and then dimension it, and this is going to be 1.6. So this is called a rectangular hollow section. Now to help me get this symmetrical, I'm going to draw a line from the midpoint here. So just drag it till you get the green dot. I'm just going to drag this up, and I'm going to do the same on here. I'm just going to draw a line up to here and make that construction. Click on the screen, right click, make that construction. Okay, so I'm going to drag this rectangle up here like so. Now what I want to do here is use the coincident constraint. Click that point you've just created at the top and there, and that's going to move that centered. All turns blue, that looks good. Finish your sketch. Now I'm going to extrude this, and I want to extrude this profile here, and then I need to set my distance. I'm going to make this, click on this little thing here, new solid. So this is going to be a separate solid in my model, and I'm going to go back towards this part here at a distance of 30 millimeters. No, I'm going to go 35 millimeters. So this is going to intersect my model. In fact, I might just even go 40. Let's do it. Yeah. All right. 40 millimeters. that's now intersecting my part there. Now you can go ahead and add some fillets to this, because this is an actual section you can find in the metalwork store, and it's got some nice rounded corners. I'm going to leave it. You can make yours like that. Now, next thing to do, let's create a sketch on this top surface. Now on this surface here, what I need to do is I need to add a hole. So what I'd like to do normally is create a construction line. And here I'm going to draw a circle. Now this circle is going to be 12.5 millimeters in diameter. Make this line a construction line, and I'm going to put a dimension in here of, let's say, 12.5. Finish, extrude. Now I'm going to extrude this, cut it. I want to go through all, I'm going to cut all the way through. So this is going to be a clearance hole. So on one side here, I'm going to actually make that a bigger circle so I can fit the nut through on my design. And this here will allow the bolt to pass through so I can tighten my wing nut on top. So just save your model now. Now go back to your assembly, and all of a sudden you're going to now see this weird looking shape. So depending on how you've constrained your legs, this could be on the other side like it is on mine. In order to fix this, I'm going to probably have to delete some of my constraints and then rotate my legs and reconstrain it back to my model, because I don't want that to go inboard. So I've got both two legs now that are going inwards. I actually want this one here to be turned around so it goes outwards. So the idea here is that the legs will close like so, and when I open this up, it's going to stop and hit against that piece of metal there. Now, a few issues you might be able to recognize is that at the moment, it's going to probably stop about there when that hits. What we need to do here is we need to add a, whoop, I can go back to where I was. We need to add a clearance or a cutout here to allow that saddle to pass through. So we'll fix that up in a sec. And the other thing we need to check is that if you look down, you may or may not have that hole in the right spot. So I had 12.5. We might need to tweak that. So it probably is about 10 millimeters from there. Now the other thing too, if you open up this bracket, I think I might have done this already in my design. I want you to right click on the first extrusion, right click and go edit feature, and I want you to make the width of this bracket 40 millimeters. I think it was 50 in your design. We need to change that back to 40. It's going to fit inside this 50 by 50. Okay, so let's go back to this part. What I'm going to need to do here is cut out a rectangular section. So if I do a sketch on here, I'm going to cut a rectangle. Now this gets a bit hard to see, but I'm going to draw a rectangle out here, and I'm going to make this 42 millimeters. And what I'm going to then do is use this constraint, which is called collinear. I'm going to put that line on this edge here of my part. I'm going to then drag this over where I want it to be. It should be centered to here. So to do that, I can draw a line from this midpoint to the midpoint of here. Be careful you don't snap on something else. Right click construction. Whoops. Make sure you click on line construction and horizontal. This one's going to be vertical, sorry. There we go. So now I can just determine how far out that's going to go. And I reckon I'm going to have a guess and make it 12 mil. Okay, finish this. Now I'm going to cut this pocket out of the rectangle. Now you can see in here I've got 3 solid bodies. When I created this one, I clicked that little icon that created that as a new body. So I'm going to extrude this, and I'm going to cut it through all. Now this is where you can see, because I've sketched it on that particular feature, it's actually only going to cut it out of my rectangle. So there we go. Now that may not be big enough. I'm actually going to go back quickly and edit the sketch. I reckon that might need to be something more like 14 millimeters. Let's see how that looks. Okay, let's save this and go back to our assembly. And we can check. Now for some reason, my saddle's disappeared. We'll go check over this one. So you can see here that that relief I've just added is what we need to drop the saddle in through that pocket there. So if I zoom into the top, that saddle should drop in through there. So if you imagine when you assemble this, there should be a clear path that that saddle drops in and through, which it looks like that's okay. Now you can see when this moves, this should keep on going until it stops. And that looks like it's going to work. Cool. That's pretty much it. Now, there's a bit of a problem potentially there. On that bottom face, I might need to cut more out of my pocket, because potentially that radius there on my design might foul on there. You see it looks like it's interfering through there, so we might have to look at that. But that's okay. We can adjust our design as we go, perhaps when we build it. And what we might also do, I might make this bit come out longer. So if I move my work plane, so this is the offset plane. If I go edit dimension, it was 30 mil, I'm going to make it 40 mil. And also I've noticed that this part is now shorter. So if I right click my extrusion, edit feature, I'm going to add 10 mil to that, 50 mil. It's going to bring that out further. Gives me a little bit more to work with in my design. Cool, that's fairly well it, folks. Once we get this part welded onto here, that there, with a bit of tweaking, you guys can do some tuning on the diameters and make sure that everything aligns. I've been a little bit sloppy with that, but I'm going to let you be the master of that. That there is fairly well what we're going to need to function. So we're going to weld all the way around this part, and then that is going to be our stop. Very good. Now, this last bit of the tutorial, what I'm expecting you guys to do is to be able to do a simple CAD model of your side profile. I want that to be the length of this piece of timber. So obviously you can go back in here and measure it. Your side profile will have to screw attached to the side here, and it's going to run along the profile like so. So that's the next step after here. Then what you can do is on Daymap, I've included a drawing sheet for you to use. So that is a standard template. So once you download that, it should look like this standard. It's a drawing template for you to use for drawing up your parts, because once you've completed this, our goal is to draw our components. So with my program, if I go new and draw, I've got mine already created here. So mine's a standard DWG. Create. With yours, I want you just to go file open and open the template from from Daymap, sorry. Here I can place a view. So if I go base view, I can draw whatever I have open. So I want to in fact draw the legs. So if I want to draw the legs here, I can change my scale. I think 1:4 works pretty well. That gives me a front on view. Go OK, and there we go. There's my first view of my drawing. If I go projected now, I can click on my view and I can project it. You right click and go create. You can see that is my part, and I can see there's an angle which I can go annotate and I can dimension. So this should be 15 degrees. So 75 that way, but it should be 15 degrees from horizontal.